Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sunnah and Spice, the prophetic wisdom meets practical cooking, here on Iman 1. I'm your host, Alvina Ali, and this is the show where we bring together faith, food, and well being to help you nourish your body and soul throughout this blessed month. Now, each week we explore how the Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sunnah and Spice. This is where prophetic wisdom meets practical cooking here on Iman 1. I'm your host, Alvina Ali, and this is the show where we bring together faith, food, and well being to help you nourish your body and soul throughout this blessed month. Each week we explore how the timeless teachings of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, can guide the way we cook, eat, and care for our families. Now, while also sharing practical nutrition advice, real cooking tips, and recipes you can try at home. Now, joining me as always is my wonderful co-host and special guest, Nicki Kainth, also known as the Indian Foodiva. Chef, food educator, and passionate advocate for making cooking both joyful and healthy. Now, Nicki brings her wealth of experience to help us translate Sunnah principles into everyday meals. So today's show is all about iftar, but not the big feast we often think of. Instead, we're focusing on the gentle Sunnah approach to breaking the fast, how to nourish without overwhelming the body, how to reconnect with gratitude, and how to avoid the energy crashes that can come from overeating. Sunnah and Spice is proudly sponsored by AIB Foods, supporting our community with quality ingredients, and later in the show, we'll be giving you the chance to win a beautiful food hamper from them, so watch this space. We'd also love to hear from you during the show. You can give us a call on 01902 972 150 or send a WhatsApp message to 07440 420 432 with your questions, reflections, or even your own recipes. So, by the end of today's program, you will walk away with practical tips, spiritual reflections, delicious recipes, and a deeper understanding of how small changes at iftar can transform your Ramadan experience. So, before I begin, I want to introduce my lovely guest, the Indian food diva, aka Nicki Kainth. Hi, Nicki, how you doing?
Hi, Alvina. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. So, can you tell our listeners a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm the Indian food diva. My name is Nicki Kainth. I started doing cakes a few years ago after having my triplets. And I just found I had a natural talent for it. I was self-taught, so I make all sorts of elaborate celebration cakes, wedding cakes, birthday cakes, any occasion. I also do Indian catering. Well, it doesn't have to be just Indian. It could be Mexican, Chinese, British. So for any parties, any corporate events, for any occasion. So I do that as well as my cakes. So keeps me quite busy.
Wow, quite a lot of variety there.
There is.
But right, we will be talking to Nicki a bit more about herself later on in the program. But before that, let's get into our topic of discussion: how the Prophet, peace be upon him, broke his fast. Now, as many of you know, our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us simplicity and balance as well. It is reported that he would break his fast with fresh dates or dry dates, and if none were available, then with water. Now, this shows us that iftar is first and foremost a spiritual moment, reconnecting with Allah. May He be praised and exalted. expressing gratitude and easing the body gently back into nourishment. So, Nikki, from a health perspective, why is breaking the fast lightly so important?
Well, when we've been fasting all day, our digestive system has slowed down. Going straight into heavy fried food can shock the stomach, causing bloating and leading to sluggishness. Dates provide natural sugars for which quick energy, fibre to support the digestion, and essential minerals. Water will hydrate the body gently. It's just a perfect reset. The dates have lots of health benefits. They're a natural energy boost. They lower cholesterol, and they serve as a healthier, lower GI alternative to refined sugar as well.
Right. That's useful to know. Now, Nikki, why is rushing into fried food? Why does that cause discomfort?
When we eat fried foods, immediately the body struggles to digest them because digestion hasn't fully woken up yet. This can lead to acid reflux, heaviness, and fatigue, which is why often people feel sleepy after iftar, and they always mention, "Oh, I need to lie down, I need a nap."
Yeah.
Steady as it goes. So just break into it gently.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, what about hunger cues? How does that affect one?
Fasting helps us reconnect with true hunger. If we pause and eat slowly, we notice that when we're satisfied rather than overly full, that awareness is a powerful Sunnah habit.
Right. Okay. Thanks for that. So obviously, let's just do a bit of reflection here. The importance of pausing after dates, as Nikki mentioned. So taking a pause after dates allows us to make dua, pray Maghrib, and also give the body time to absorb natural sugars before continuing the meal. So, Nikki, have you got anything to add to that as well?
Well, that pause helps prevent overeating because your brain starts registering fullness. So that's important, just to take a reset and, take it easy.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And now we are going to discuss the food in the Quran. Now, as you know, many of you, food is mentioned throughout the Quran as a sign of Allah's blessings, reminding us to eat with gratitude and mindfulness. Now, foods mentioned include dates, olives, honey, milk, figs, and pomegranates. So, eating foods mentioned in the Quran connects us spiritually to what we eat. Now, it reminds us that nourishment is not just physical, it's a blessing and an act of worship when done with gratitude. So, Nikki, can you expand on that for me, please?
Yeah. When we're connecting to food, obviously we're conscious of what we're eating, and so you can eat the right food, the healthy food, rather than jumping straight into, like we might be very hungry, then just reaching for the rubbish, as in crisps, chocolate, fried stuff. Just be conscious, break into it gently, have your fruits, have your salads, make your healthy foods, and it just reminds us of, after fasting all day, that it is healthy and important to stay connected to the right foods.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So, when we choose these foods intentionally, listeners, remember the wisdom in creation and feel more mindful about what we put into our bodies. So, Nikki, what are the simple ways that families can include these foods at iftar?
You can add olives to salads, drizzle honey in your yogurt, include dates in smoothies, or use pomegranate seeds to brighten dishes. I normally use a lot of pomegranate in salads. You might think, oh, it's a bit sweet. It's not actually. It actually gives it a lovely definition to your food. The look of it, we eat with our eyes, and it doesn't only look beautiful, but it just gives it another dimension on your taste buds, and it tastes delicious. So small additions make meals Sunnah inspired without extra effort, and you can put things like grapes, any sort of food, cut up an apple in your salad. It does actually give it a lovely crunch. You will enjoy it. It tastes lovely. You can include it into your 5 a day as well.
Right, excellent. Thank you. And also, I think we will remind our listeners that we have got a competition running as well at the same time. And this is your chance to win a delicious food hamper from our sponsors, AIB Foods. So, shall we drop the question then, Nicki?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to drop the question? It's on your competition page.
Okay. I'm just going to have a quick look.
I'll give you the honours of dropping the question.
Okay. I'm just looking.
It's page 8.
Okay. Right. This week, the question is, how did the Prophet break his fast?
That's it. That's what we want to know. How did the Prophet break his fast? We've already spoke about that early on in the program. Now, as always, to enter the competition, just give us a call on 01902 972 150, or you can send your answer via WhatsApp to 07440 420 432, and don't forget to include your name as well. And we will announce the winner in next week's show. So good luck to all of you who be taking part in the food hamper competition. And we have got the winner from last week. I'm just going to quickly scroll through to our winner, and that was Shasta. She said the right answer, and the question, I have not got it on me, but the answer was dates. So well done to Shasta. The hamper is yours. Please get in touch and we will do our utmost best to get that over to you. So just to remind you about the question, it is, how did the Prophet break his fast? That's what we need to know. And Nicki, can you remind us about the magic numbers? They're on your sheet.
Yeah, the number to call us on is 01902 972 150, or you can send your answers via WhatsApp to 07440 420 432.
Brilliant, thank you. And we are going to give you an insight now into the hamper that you could win, and Nicki's going to talk you through it.
Right then, we have actually got 3 lovely boxes of dates. They're all a little bit different. We've got mixed dates, and we've got some medjool dates, and we've got some arjwa dates. All packaged beautifully, so even if you didn't want to have them yourself, you can pass them on as presents. We've got lovely amount of spices in there. We've got some coriander seeds, fennel seeds, cumin seeds. We've got black pepper. We've got crushed chilies, powdered chilies. We've got chickpeas. We've got different sorts of lentils in there also. So it's quite a packed out hamper that you'll be receiving. A lovely hamper that you can win. So just call us on these numbers, and good luck to you all.
Thank you. Right, I think it's time now to find out a bit more about the Indian food diva. So, Nicki, obviously you are a great cook, and you are known as the Indian food diva. You're all over the socials as well. Can you let us know how you got into cooking?
Into cooking. I've always been quite eager to learn to cook from a younger age. But under lockdown, I started doing afternoon tea with samosas and pakoras and so forth, which went really well. So obviously I did that in the first lockdown. Second lockdown, I thought, well, how much afternoon tea can you keep having? So I started doing Indian food, whereas I did starters, mains and desserts, and I gave everybody where I live locally a collection time. So obviously it was lockdown, nobody can come together, and I packaged it up beautifully in white bags and pink tissue paper, pink labels, made it look really nice, and it just hit off. So after lockdown, I obviously everybody went to restaurants and so forth, and I started doing catering for private people, private parties, corporate, anything for any occasion. Would it be for a celebration, a birthday, a wedding, funeral, any occasion? And I do Indian food, Mexican, Chinese, British, Italian. You could have a mixture of a very beautiful, colourful buffet rather than just the normal beige buffets that you might get from anywhere else. If beige food is what you like, then that can be included. But it's very colourful, very bright, and like I said before, we eat with our eyes.
That's true. Yeah, sometimes we seem to see the plate to be a bit bigger. We tend to overfill it at times, and we can never finish our food, can we?
No, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, so a great variety there. So what sort of requests do you get coming through then?
I get a lot of weddings. They want a bright buffet. It could be just curries with rice, naan, chapatis. Sometimes I just get some people just want one curry with rice. Some people want many different, like chicken tikka. They want bolties or rogan josh, tandoori chicken. I also do tandoori chicken, chicken tikka wraps, and say chicken tikka pizzas. So I try to incorporate West with East. Sometimes it's like Italian meets Indian or Mexican meets Indian. It could be anything that's combined together. It's quite different. It's quite unusual, but it's very nice. You can buy the normal from anywhere, but that's why I try and do a little bit different. So things like pakora wraps, anything in them. You can have samosa wraps, anything, just to change it up a bit with lots of salad and spices and sauces. It just makes it very delicious.
So obviously you cook at your own premises, and do you deliver, or do you get people to come and pick the
Either. If some people like to pick it up, and but I do deliver, and I actually say to them, keep my pots and I'll come back for them. It's easier to heat in one big pot if that's what they're having. Obviously, if they're having a buffet, it's all catered for in the platters, whether it's like plastic or cardboard. Then the person just takes that with them. But if it's curries and so forth, I do normally give them in the pot, which they kindly bring back or I pick up.
Let's talk about this new initiative that you're starting now. Obviously, there are some people who are quite elderly who can't cook, and you will be looking out to going to support these people, cook for them in their own homes. And also, if people are hosting parties, you're willing to do that as well, to be the main chef and do all the cooking and catering for them. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've recently gone into doing private chefing where people host a party, whether it's 10, 20 people, and I cook at their premises, and they have that food, and I actually stay there, clean up and do everything that in the kitchen for them. I've also started, if you've got elderly family members in your household that are on their own, that can't cook, I actually do cook and deliver that food for them, whether it's for the day or whether it's for the week or for 2 weeks, because you can freeze the tubs that are provided. So whether you didn't want to, you think you can order the same meal but you want to spread it out within the 2 weeks, that's okay as well, because everything is freezable, because everything is made fresh.
So with all the cooking and catering that you do, what sort of areas do you cover then?
So I live in Penkridge, which is about 5 miles from Wolverhampton. I do cover Wolverhampton, I cover Walsall, Birmingham, Telford, Stafford, all the surrounding areas, maybe in about a 20-mile radius. But if you wanted me to go further, then that will be, discussed as well.
So, what's the most requested item then from your clients?
Chicken tikka.
Chicken tikka.
Everybody loves chicken tikka. Everybody, the Gore love it. We all like it as well. Another thing that a lot of people do request as a starter is tandoori chicken wraps. Lots of people have actually said that I've never tasted anything like it. It's all the sauces and the spices that are combined into it. It is something different. I've never tasted anything like that. Even I've been to London, Manchester, Birmingham. My wraps are quite different. Very delicious.
Yeah. Brilliant. So you also do cakes as well, and I know that you have been helping and supporting a local charity, Secret Angels, in their Macmillan tea events. So what are your most popular cakes?
Obviously, birthday cakes. They happen every year. A lot of people like to celebrate. I mean, sometimes I say to somebody, is it a special birthday? And they always say, well, every birthday is a special birthday. So whether you're from 1, whether you're 8, whether you're 14, every birthday is special, going upwards, obviously. So weddings, obviously, hopefully happen once in a lifetime. Those are quite elaborate cakes, hard work, quite stressful, because sometimes, these days, because of social media, everything out there, everybody wants everything to be absolutely perfect. And I do try my best. But birthday cakes are very, very popular. I do like modelling the figures, modelling the flowers, making them myself out of sugar paste. That is one of my, I just love doing that. It's just very therapeutic, sitting there making the items. Like, I did last week a christening cake, and it had 3 big teddy bears holding balloons and so forth. And I do really enjoy making these models out of little, from modelling paste. It's fun.
Now, you are very passionate, I have to say, because I've seen your Instagram where you have actually displayed some of your cakes and the food that you do as well.
Yeah.
So shall we just remind our listeners where they can find you on your socials?
Yeah, on Instagram it's Adora Cake, and on the Indian Foodiva is the Indian Foodiva. You can also call me on WhatsApp and leave a message, or on Messenger, and my number is 07956 154 170. And you can contact me regarding any parties, any wakes, funerals, any other celebration that you might have. And obviously, if I'm available, I'll be there.
Lovely. So we're going into a break. We've got about 15 seconds remaining. So just to let you know, you are tuned into Sunnah and Spice every Wednesday from 1 till 2. And we will be coming back and we'll be talking about some Sunnah-inspired balanced iftar. So we see you shortly. Good afternoon and welcome back to Sunnah and Spice. Joining me in the studio is the Indian food diva, aka Nicki Kainth. We talked quite a bit about inspirational foods, Sunnah, and the best way to take iftar forward. Now, over the break, me and Nicki, we were talking about dates, weren't we? And you wanted to mention something quite important.
Yeah, it's just about dates, how absolutely brilliant they are for us. As I mentioned before, the the benefits of having the dates. Um, but what I'd like to say is that they do actually, if you do feel like having something sweet, rather than going out for chocolates or um, any like cakes and stuff. Dates are quite nutrient dense fruits packed with fiber, antioxidants, and essential minerals like potassium and magnesium. They do actually support the heart health, digestion, and bone strength. They're actually quite a good energy boost as well.
Yeah.
They do act as lowering the cholesterol. And like I said to you before, they are a healthy GI alternative to refined sugar. You can actually add them, say, if you're making some sort of like a pinni, like when you make all the nuts and everything together as a maybe like a breakfast cereal, rather than putting sugar in, you can actually put the dates in instead. Maybe cut them up and use them like raisins. They're actually very good for you, and if you are a diabetic, you can have between 1 and 2 a day. If you're not, a healthy amount is between 2 and 5.
Excellent, brilliant. So, Nicki, I want to ask you a question now that you're talking about dates as well. Dates with butter obviously was one of the forgotten ancient remedies, and that was for strength, digestion, and healing. And also, this was one of the sunnahs as well, because obviously dates, like you said, have nutritional benefits to our body, and they're all about strength, digestion, and healing, which you spoke about. Have you ever heard about dates with butter, or have you tried any dates with butter?
I haven't actually. No, this
Right.
is the first time I've heard of it.
Okay, now I came across an article, and this is one of the ancient Sunnah traditions. And in Islamic tradition, dates were eaten with butter or milk, and they were used for strength, for recovery, and warming the body as well. And the common after fasting or illness is in early Muslim homes. So obviously for fasting, if people are feeling ill and stuff like that. So this is what this article is saying here. So obviously Ibn al-Qayyim and the Prophet on dates with butter. Now the Messenger of Allah used to eat dates with butter, and they were beneficial for those who are cold, in temperamental or weak, or are recovering from illness as well, which we've covered. And also, you would say why this combo heals the body. Well, like you said, it boosts digestion and it helps the gut lining as well. And like Nicki said, it increases natural strength. And most importantly, it supports hormone health, and it is easy to absorb nutrients as well. So I wanted to just share that as we're talking. Do you want to add anything else onto this subject matter as well?
No, it sounds really good. What do you do? Spread the butter onto the dates?
Yeah, so you know when you sort of
Open them up.
yeah, open them up and you take out the stone, you put butter in it.
Sounds delicious.
It could be desi clarified
Ghee.
yeah, ghee as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something I learnt as
I
well.
do like butter, like anybody else. I do enjoy it, but obviously everything in moderation.
Yes, of course. Shall we remind people about the competition? Do you want to mention
Yeah.
the question?
The question is, how did the Prophet break his fast? You can actually call us on 01902 972 150, or you can send your answer via WhatsApp to 0744 042 0432. and don't forget to include your name.
Right.
Otherwise, we won't know where we're sending it.
Right, or who to contact.
Exactly.
Right, just reminded people what the question was.
Right. The question is, how did the Prophet break his fast?
Lovely, nice and easy, isn't it? And you got the hamper in front of you as well, haven't you?
I have, yes. It's a lovely hamper. It's got 3 boxes of dates, mixed dates, medjool dates, and ajwa dates, which I've never actually tried,
Mm.
but sound delicious. We've got lots of seeds in there, being black pepper, coriander seeds, crushed chilies, powdered chilies. We've got fennel seeds, coriander seeds, and we've got lentils. We've got chickpeas, some other lentils that are pushed back. I can't properly see, but it's all very lovely, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful prize if you do win it. So don't forget to call us and enter the competition, because you've got to be in it to win it.
Oh, definitely. All the main kitchen essentials then for your cooking
I think
needs.
so. Yeah, and if you got a masala dabba, you've got everything there to put all your spices in. It'll definitely fill it for you.
Definitely. We'll have to get you into the kitchen downstairs and do some practicals, I think.
I think we should.
I think we should do that for the next year, can't we? For the
Yeah,
month of
we could do.
Ramadan.
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Okay, so let's go on to then Sunnah inspired balanced iftar then. So, Nikki, what does a balanced plate look like after the initial Sunnah break then?
A nourishing iftar includes soup for hydration. This could be a vegetable or a meat soup. Soup's actually very good in filling you up. You probably won't think about it. You probably think it's got water in it. It's just like quite thin, but soup does actually keep you fuller for longer. Also, if you make a lentil dal, dals are quite good. They're nutrient dense. They're quite affordable, and obviously it's plant-based protein. It supports the heart health by lowering cholesterol, aids in blood sugar management. It's also, like the dates, got a lower glycemic index as well. It actually promotes your digestive health also. So it's very good. Whether you're making the red lentils, which is like musardi dal, it's very healthy for you. You can actually give that to your children. Very good for your digestive health. Lean protein for energy, vegetables for fiber. Vegetables is another good food that you can include quite a lot of in your plate, because of the fiber. And you can include a small amount of carbs. A balance can help prevent fatigue and overeating later. So fill yourself up on the protein, on the fiber like the vegetables, and a small amount of carbs if you can.
Excellent, thank you for that. So it's all about balance, obviously, which helps prevent fatigue and overeating later as well. So, Nikki, when meals are balanced, obviously we know that blood sugar rises steadily instead of spiking, helping us stay energized for Travi and also reducing late night cravings.
Yeah, it also helps better sleep and digestion. You obviously won't go to sleep with a bloated stomach, which can be quite uncomfortable. So, it's important to take it steady and eat healthy.
Excellent. I have a listener's question that's just popped in. The question is it okay to drink fizzy drinks at iftar?
It's best to hydrate with water first. Fizzy drinks can cause bloating.
Excellent. Okay. So I just want to give a shout out to all the listeners here in the UK. And I believe the United States have also been with us throughout the program. So I'm just checking all the listenership here as well. So it's great to see that we are going up, above, and beyond on DAB across Walsall and Wolverhampton as well. and worldwide. Isn't that great? Okay, so let's go in and share some recipes. Are you ready, Nikki?
I think I am.
Right, okay. What's your first recipe for us then for today?
Right. Let's start with Sunnah lentil and vegetable soup.
Okay.
Start with the onions, garlic, carrots sauteed in olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
red lentils, which we spoke about before, turmeric, cumin, simmer with vegetable stock, and finish with lemon juice. It's not only hydrating, it's easy to digest, and also importantly, it's rich in protein.
Mm.
So it's a very healthy food. You can give it to your children, even babies, leave out the chilies. And the wonderful thing also here is that if you enter the competition, all the spices are actually in the hamper. So, so you can enter the competition and try and win it and make this lovely Sunnah lentil and vegetable soup.
Yeah. Do you want to remind the listeners about the question then for the competition?
Yeah, this week's question is, how did the Prophet break his fast? You can call us on 01902 972 150 or send your answer via WhatsApp to 07440 420 432, and don't forget to include your name.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Nikki. Nikki, I've got another question here from a listener, and they said, why do I feel tired after eating?
It's likely to be overeating or too many fried foods. It can cause blood sugar spikes, and when you crash after a blood sugar spike, you do feel very tired and lethargic. So it's best. This is why it's best to eat healthy throughout Ramadan,
Mm-hmm.
and all other occasion, every other time. So just stay away from fried foods if you can. So it won't cause you bloating either.
Mm. Thank you for that, Nikki. And I believe you've got a second recipe for us as well. Can you tell us a bit more about this one then?
Yeah, this is date and banana energy smoothie. So if you got a blender, if you haven't, it's okay. A whisk
Mm.
or one of those energy drink jug things you have with a lid. Just blend your milk, your dates, a banana, and a spoon of peanut butter. Peanut butter is quite good for protein, so it's a perfect for a quick nourishment. It'll give you natural energy. It's great for children again, and it will support you a recovery after fasting. It's just a lovely smoothie to be enjoyed whenever, really. Even after Ramadan, you can enjoy that. It's quite an energy boost.
Excellent. So yeah, you know what? I think you've answered the question. I've just got a listener's question here. It says, "Are smoothies a good iftar option?"
Yeah, like I said, they're great hydrating and gentle on the digestion. So it's very healthy for you.
Mm.
Obviously, stick to your amount of dates. So, like I said before, if you are diabetic or cutting back on your sugars,
Mm.
although dates are a natural sugar, one, two, three if you're diabetic, and if you're not, then 2 to 5 is fine.
Mm. There you go, listeners. You've heard it from the professional herself, the Indian food diva, aka Nicki Kainth, who is recommending 1 to 3 of the dates are sufficient. And remember, it's sufficient for sunnah, and as Nikki said, it is sufficient for energy as well. Right, I've got another question here. Is soup really necessary?
Yes, it helps rehydrate,
Mm-hmm.
and it prepares digestion for the meal. It's a great filler as well. So if you think, oh, I'm not going to be able to eat your meal, I think it's a very good to start your meal on nourishment, and if you've made it especially if you've made it healthy, it'll it is very good on digestion.
Mm, excellent. Okay, so I've got another question here, and this one is asking, can we skip the pause and eat straight away.
Well, pausing supports digestion.
Can you expand a bit more about pause? That's the first time I've heard that phrase.
Yeah. You've had your dates and have a pause. Think about what you've eaten. It's
Mm.
always important, rather than eating everything and anything in front of us. Just have a think about also why we're keeping the fast. Think about the people that they don't have the food that we have. Just think about what nourishment it's going to give us, and then carry on with eating the rest of your food, because one, we're supposed to eat and chew our food quite well before swallowing it. It'll just improve on your digestion. So just have a think about what we're having, and then carry on with your next meal, whatever you're going to have. It just prevents overeating, really, which will cause you bloating and uncomfortableness.
So you touched on overeating. So what's the best way to avoid overeating then?
Another thing you can do is, obviously we're supposed to be drinking water, sipping water throughout the day. Before, if you are cutting back and you are looking after your diet, whether you're trying to lose a few pounds, have a glass or two of water. That will actually fill you up, and it will prevent you from overeating as well. And it's just another thing for you. It's a reminder for you to carry on drinking your drinking water throughout the day.
And obviously the best way to avoid overeating, the Sunnah way, is to eat slowly and start light and listen to the fullness cues as well. And I remember when we used to sit at school and have lunch, we were told that once you've put something in your mouth, you're supposed to chew it at least 20 times before swallowing it. So obviously all this sort of starts to make sense, doesn't it, on how to avoid overeating and rush eating as well.
Yeah, so just be mindful of what you're eating, how you're eating it. Just think about it. So, eat slowly, start light, and listen to the fullness cues, like you said. So yeah, it all counts toward the way you feel. So obviously with the overeating, the bloatedness, the having that horrible tummy fullness sort of feeling, you want to try and avoid all that if you can.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Now, let's go into moderation and mindful eating. Now, it always says that 1/3 food on a plate, 1/3 water, and 1/3 air. A timeless teaching reminding us to avoid excess. Can you expand on that for us?
Yeah, you can use smaller plates, so that that once your plate is full, that's all you're going to have. It's just a reminder not to overeat. Like Alvina said, eat slowly and stop before fullness. Just imagine that, I don't want to have that bloated feeling, that uncomfortable feeling. So if you are full, just leave it. It's important not to waste food, obviously, but it's also important to look after your health first.
So just to help our listeners out there and picture a smaller plate, what would you advise? What sort of food would you put on that small plate for iftar to break your fast?
So I would fill it most importantly with your vegetables. You can fill it with your protein. You can put as much salad. You can eat as much salad as you like. Have fruit for dessert, but obviously don't overload your food plate with fruit, because fruit is a sugar as well, albeit it's natural sugars. But just be mindful that you do fill your plate up with protein, whether it's meat or it's plant-based. Vegetables, and it doesn't have to be like steamed, boiled vegetables or roasted. You can actually make it into an Indian dish like a sabji. mixed vegetables. You can put meat in it. A dish like biryani, which is great. It's got your carbs in it. It's got your protein. It's got your veg in it, if that's what you put in. Just remind yourself that you've been fasting all day and you don't want to spoil it by having junk food. So just be mindful of eating healthy, and you can carry on with that healthy eating throughout the year.
Excellent, thank you. Light and in moderation, as one would say. Now it is a last call, and this is your last chance to win a delicious food hamper for this week from our sponsors, AIB Foods. Now, this week's question is, how did the Prophet, peace be upon him, break his fast? That's all we need to know. And to enter, give us a call on 01902 972 150. And remember, the program will be ending at 2 o'clock. Or you can send your answer on WhatsApp to 07440 420 432. And don't forget to include your name. Now, the question will stand right up till the week. And before the show, we will announce the winner. So the question is, how did the Prophet break his fast? And the WhatsApp lines are open from today till the next show on Wednesday. So give us a WhatsApp on 07440 420 432. And remember, we need your name. And we will announce the winner in next week's show. Right, quickly going in. I see we've got another message. And the text message reads... I've lost it. Okay, are fried foods completely bad?
No, they're not completely bad. Obviously, we all love our chips and samosas, pakoras, everything in moderation. There's nothing that's banned. People say butter and ghee, oils. Nothing is banned. You can actually have fried food, but just be mindful, like we spoke about before, how much we have, and to stop when we are full. So I'm not saying have it every day, and sometimes maybe once or twice a week, but just be mindful how much you have. That's all you've got to do. The key is, like we said, Alvina said as well, mindfulness is the key.
Definitely. Thank you for that. I'm looking at the WhatsApp. I've got another question here, and it says, why is mindful eating important in Ramadan?
Well, it helps us stay spiritually focused and physically energized. So just be mindful, like we spoke about, you've been fasting all day, and you want to stay focused.
Excellent. Okay, we have got 55 seconds, and alhamdulillah, what a beautiful reminder today that iftar is not just about filling our plates, it's about nourishing with intention, gratitude, and balance as well. Now, we've explored the gentle Sunnah way of breaking the fast, reflected on foods mentioned in the Quran. We've learned practical nutrition tips and shared simple recipes that you can try at home as well. So a huge thank you to my wonderful guest, Nicki Kainth, the Indian food diva, for sharing her wisdom, practical tips and delicious ideas to help us bring Sunnah into our kitchens. And thank you for our sponsors, AIB Foods, supporting Sunnah and Spice and providing our weekly food hamper giveaway. Don't forget to join us next week for another chance to win. Until then, take care of yourselves, eat with intention, and remember that every meal can be an act of gratitude. I'm Alvina Ali. Thank you for listening, and thank you for my lovely guest, Nicki Kainth as well, the Indian food diva. Assalamu alaikum.